switch over. All right, well, welcome back to another Trofold Paranormal stream. Today we have a guest with us, but first I'm going to go through and introduce myself and let everyone else introduce themselves. I am PhantomGB. I also do gaming on the side. I do have a YouTube channel doing that, but I also am very intrigued by the paranormal, so that's why I do this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move it on over to Laura.
Hi, all. So my name is Laura, and I have been interested in the paranormal for probably, well, I would say I've really delved deep into it for over 20 years. But it's been a part of my life pretty much my whole life. So, all right, on to you, Chris.
Yep, same here. It's been a passion for me for as long as I can remember. I do, trench working where I clear energies out, do things of this nature for people. And, that's essentially what I do.
All right,
Very cool.
So today we have another special guest. It is Nick Downs. He's from Lincoln, Nebraska. And tell us about yourself, Nick.
Well, hello, I'm Nick, obviously, and I am the founder and lead paranormal investigator to the Paranormal L.I.G.H.T.S Lincoln Investigations of Ghost Hauntings and the Supernatural in Lincoln, Nebraska. And we are also associated with the Branched Oak Observatory in Raymond, Nebraska.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal, good deal.
So, how long ago was it that you actually created the paranormal? Well, if I guess first, maybe explain like what does paranormal lights stand for? I see it looks like it's an acronym of some sort.
Lincoln Investigations of Ghost Hauntings and the Supernatural. And originally we started ghost hunting in the early to mid 90s, but we became an official team with my co-founder, Emily, back in 1998, and we've been doing it off and on since then. And then over the time, then that was when we brought in you three.
Very
Good
cool.
deal. I suppose, full disclosure, I know me and Laura are part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Chris was a part of it as well.
Well, yeah, at one point.
Yeah. Chris was with us for a while, for several years. He's gone on several investigations until he moved out and he separated and did his own thing. And so, but we still communicate and we still share theories, opinions, and ideas and all that other stuff. So it's what actually helps the paranormal community grow. So we kind of started originally with 4 members back then, and then we got Phantom, then Laura and Chris, and now we have 28 members worldwide now. But mostly here, we have a top 7, top 9 here in Nebraska.
So I was kind of curious, Nick, what first got you interested in the paranormal?
I grew up in a haunted house, and I've heard ghost stories from my parents, especially my mom's old home growing up, which I remember having my first encounter there. Now, I've never really came face to face with a ghost, but I've actually experienced strange, unexplainable paranormal activities. I wouldn't say I haven't seen a ghost per se, but I know I've seen the reflection of a woman in a mirror in my mom's old home. And then when I described it to my mom and my grandma at the time, they said that it was my deceased great grandmother. And that was when I started kind of learning to understand what the afterlife was. And we had these weird hauntings and things that followed us around from our old previous home. Then years later, I have learned that a house does not have to be old to be haunted. When we moved into a new home that my family had built, and we had similar paranormal going ons that happened there. So that's why we believed, or that's why I started to believe that attachments are real, because we were having the same similar hauntings as we did in an old home. So then growing up, my brother, Gary, he's my older brother, that him and his friends would go out to haunted places just to chase ghosts and whatnot. And I became more and more interested in it. I loved the adrenaline rush you get out of it. And poof, here we are.
So, kind of circling back to when you first saw your great grandmother, who obviously had already passed away, in the mirror,
Mhm.
did she appear different than you, or did you think that it looked like a normal person, just you didn't recognize her behind you?
Um, no, it was that house alone. Um, that house alone has several deaths. And when I had first seen it, I remember I go up the stairs down in the hallway, and then there's this room that has one of those standing oval shaped mirrors. And when I was looking through the mirror, it was angled to where there's this rocking chair that I know that sat there. There was a woman sitting in that chair. She
Oh.
looked straight at me and she waved, and I waved back. And so I went and asked my mom, I was like, who's the lady up in the room? And
So she looked as
when,
normal as you and I.
yeah, she just in the reflection, she just looked like just a normal human, full fleshed person. And when I had described on what I had seen, my grandmother at that time had shown me some pictures, and I don't even remember how many, but I do recall pointing out, this is the person I saw. And that's when I learned that was my grandmother's mother.
Oh, that's really cool. At least you
Yeah.
weren't frightened by it.
No, I wasn't bothered at it by all. I just thought it was somebody. And then after I learned that it could have been her ghost, I was like, okay. Then that's when I started learning more about it. And since then, I've never really been scared of them because, well, seeing something like that at a young age, um, I was more tuned into learning about it. Um, and uh, I don't know, but I've just never been face to face with one where a ghost has never like walked in front of me and been
That
transparent or
you
whatever,
know
but
of.
Right.
that I know of.
You know,
I mean,
it's interesting how you talk about how you weren't scared at all. I mean, I think it takes a special kind of person to like be so into this and so interested in this stuff that even like ghosts can't really scare you because most people would freak out. But
right,
like a lot of us though, I think I can say for all of us in this conference call right now that like we've never really been scared of a ghost. Like a ghost don't scare me either, you know. And so
right.
I think it does take a special kind of mindset to like be into this and actually want to go out and look for ghosts.
Yeah, because those I believe that who are really truly afraid of the unknown are those who they're either not familiar with it or they don't understand it. However, for me, when I get excited and pumped and I seem terrified or I get skittish, because of course you're going to have your jump scares, but it's that adrenaline rush that just takes over and you're just like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Like the Velisca Axe murder house, for example, when we went out there, crazy things happened. Now, did I see anything visually? No, but I
You
did on
did.
camera. Yeah.
You did before we got on camera. So I was there
Oh, that's
with
right. I forgot
him.
about that
We were
little
getting,
boy in the
actually,
back.
I will share my screen. I have that picture. There is a picture of the lady that did the tours. She had all of us standing in front of the uh little sign, and um we hadn't even been standing there for less than a minute or two, and all of a sudden you were like, "Whoa, what is like, are there a lot of neighbors nearby? Are there a lot of kids playing around?" And I remember the lady going, "No, what?" And you were like, "No, I saw a blonde kid running back here."
That's right. Yes, I did see a kid. It ran right on the in that picture. You'll see there's that ramp on the other side of that port. Well, actually, you don't see the ramp on the other side, but that back way, there's a ramp, and I
Back then.
swear I thought I saw a little kid running up it.
Yep, yep.
But I
Um,
don't know. I can't say it was a ghost. It could have been a kid, but there was nobody else there seen it.
so like, I guess before we get into the Velisca house, if that's the direction we're gonna go, uh,
Someday.
right. Chris, did you have any questions?
Oh yeah, and yeah, I'm one that's not scared of it either. I mean, the occasional jump scare, like what you were saying, Nick, but like
Boo!
anybody, yeah,
You got
exactly.
scared.
No, no, I did not. But actually, I have a couple of good questions here. What are the key tenets that any new or old paranormal investigator or investigation team should live by?
Research. Always research. Get the backstories. Always get permission and learn about what you're up against because you don't know who else prior had meddled in the area that could have stirred things up worse.
Hmm. Exactly. Like you don't know if somebody did a ritual or used a Ouija board or what have you, or murdered somebody or what have you. So yeah, exactly. Um,
Right.
and another question that just branches off of this one: what are the do's and don'ts in any investigation?
Do ask questions. Do be polite. Um, do be as humorous as possible because adrenaline can really take over. And if you get nervous or scared, just be humorous to at a mature level. You know, you don't want to be too cocky. But, well, I'm more of the taunter, so I mean, I don't have to understand on that.
We
But
are well aware of this.
Yeah.
Provocation, yeah, yeah.
and also, but mostly of the don'ts would be, um, ooh, don't go unrested, and don't do drugs. You definitely don't want to smoke or vape around in the areas because that will debunk everything that you do for evidence. Um, Now, I have a do and a don't in one, which I would say do provoke to prove that something is or is not there, but also don't, as in you don't want to go overboard and, like.
So don't be Zach from Ghost Adventures.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, go
Because if
freak
I'm,
out. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've gone to haunted locations and I said, don't be such a coward. Can I curse in here?
Yes, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So there's times that Laura has done this with me. We have this thing called the butt buddy system. So she's the one who's my back person and she'll be like, "We're not here to hurt you. We just want to get to know you." And then right
I'm
away,
the fuzzy bunny over there.
and then right after that, I triumph her by saying, "Show yourself, you fucking piece of shit."
You
But
know,
I'm only proving, I just want to provoke to see if something would react.
it
Well,
is
when they
And
funny.
then
do,
when something jumps out, I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
You know, that's definitely part of the course. Whenever we're playing Phasmophobia, it's the same exact thing. And she's like, I just want to be your bestie. And we're all like, fuck you, ghost. Come on out.
I'm like, oh, please don't kill me. I don't want to kill you. Please.
Oh yeah, and I'm the one carrying around the recorder asking questions. Are you here? And Laura's like, I'm not going to hurt you. And then we
Actually,
get that
that's not
whisper.
true. I usually carry the recorder,
Well, but
but
then we get a paranormal response of a voice going, "We want to kill you." Right after you're like, "I'm your friend."
um okay, so kind of piggybacking the whole Villisca Axe Murder House. So for me, that place was terrifying. Have you
Yeah.
ever been on an investigation somewhere that maybe at first didn't seem terrifying at all, but either during or afterwards you were like, okay, yeah, that was pretty freaking scary.
Yeah. The first one that really got my attention was after I had taunted something. I think we were downstairs in the blue room where two of the neighbor girls were murdered.
So this
Um,
did happen in Villisca.
yes, which is about 4 hours away from Lincoln. And it was, I don't remember exactly what I had said, but I know I was taunting. I said, just don't be scared, show yourself. I was just being me. And then I calmed down and we were doing some investigations. And then I started saying, hey, let's talk, let's communicate. And we were not getting any responses. And then when I went outside to meet up with you, Laura,
Mhm.
That was when Saren and Ryan and the others were calling me on the radio saying, Nick, get your ass back in here. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, great. What happened? So as soon as I get back into the house, not only did I hear it out of the radio, Ryan and Saren were explaining to me that the spirit box kept calling my name, and it was also being heard on the radio. We would hear Nick, 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 like repeatedly. And I'm thinking, well, I'm the only one carrying the radio other than Laura.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know if the picture is showing. It kind of came up an alert saying that there was an error, so hopefully you all can see the photo that I'm currently showing. It's of Saren and myself. I have my back to
It, it
everyone, but
it is
it's
showing,
kind
by
of
the
our
way.
okay. It is just kind of a home base that we had set up. So like when Nick talks about there being I refuse to go back into the house after dark. Um and so um we had a walkie that was on at all times. And
mm,
I know that there were multiple times that we heard things on the walkie that I was like, was that you guys?
yeah, and
It was really unique.
it wasn't your voice, it wasn't any of our voices. It was just like it sounded like somebody had like a scraggly voice. And as soon as I go into the kitchen through the back door, I hear on the radio, I hear Nicky, Nick, and I thought it was you at first, but you weren't responding. And then when I went into the room, that's when Ryan and Saren were saying, dude, the spirit box kept saying your name. Then when I was telling you on the radio, I was pushing the intercom button so you can hear it, but nothing would go through. But we could hear my name being called multiple times.
Yeah, because you had either Ryan or somebody come out and say, "Is everything okay? You're not responding." And we're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, we're fine. You weren't saying anything." And we tested the stuff and it all worked fine.
Yeah, even Saren had that bad vibe at that time, and she had to get out. And then I think it was when moments later, Saren did come back in, and you were asking, well, somebody was asking if we can hear that music.
Yep, if
Now we
somebody was
do have
upstairs.
so we do have it captured on camera of somebody playing the piano, but
Um,
everybody was in the room with us.
Yeah, I don't have that video. I do have the one where the door slams.
So with that, um, so we were in the kids' room where four of the Moore family's kids were murdered. There was this blue plastic ball, and it was sitting directly underneath one of the rocking chairs. So Ryan picked it up and put it in the middle of the floor. We turn on our EMF detectors. We turn on our spirit boxes, and we kept asking questions. Now we did get a few responses that said that it's like, hey, who are you? We heard more. Then we heard one of the other kids' names being called, but nothing full sentence or anything, just quick responses. Well, anyway, all of a sudden the ball started rolling, and it rolled underneath the bed that Saren was sitting on, and she's like crouching down, looking underneath the bed, watching it, and it rolls all the way back and stops directly underneath the rocking chair that I was sitting in. So Ryan was getting, Ryan and I both were getting pretty excited about this. Then Saren started saying that her back was burning and she couldn't even reach up to the point to where it was. So I lifted up the back of her shirt and she had scratches on her back. But she has, I don't know, something with her bones that she couldn't like really reach up that far. So I knew it wasn't her that scratched herself. Plus, she has two equipments in her hands in front of her. So we were watching the whole time. Well, shortly after we evaluated with that, Ryan asks, was that you that was rolling that ball? And then we got a response saying, yes, it was. After we had settled down from that, we went down into the hallway where that leads into a walk-in attic. Because there it was a kind of house that it was a closet that walks straight into the attic, not the kind that you go up into the ceiling. Well, according to the lore that the killer hid in that room prior to the night before while the family was out, and then he overnight when everyone was asleep, he killed the parents and then killed the kids and whatnot, and left with a pound of bacon. True story. And so I thought that after that whole little blue ball incident, we went into the hallway and we asked several questions trying to see if we can get a response from the attic. Ryan started to set up a camera in the same kids' room in hope to record a video of the children's door, a closet door opening, because we've heard reports of it opening or closing.
Do you want to stop there and I can play? Your video was actually on Nuke's top 5 scary ghost videos, and we have
so that's
if you want me to play it.
Yes, because then that right there is where the story picks up.
All right, let me go ahead and show that for everyone then.
And is it the whole thing with everything I'm saying?
Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. It's a loading.
Oh.
For me, anyways.
That's totally...
Yeah, it's still loading on this point. I'll let you know.
We know when it's not loading.
Yeah, it's not loading here either.
Oh, it's not?
Nope.
It says stream failed.
You want to try it again?
Yeah, I'm going to try it again.
There we go.
All right. Here we go then.
You asked for it. The Paranormal Lights ghost hunting group investigated a haunted house in Villisca, Iowa. The house has a violent history that dates all the way back to the early 1900s. The Paranormal Lights group has several odd encounters. But when team leader Nick Downs investigates the home's creepy attic, he decides to taunt the spirits of the house.
I'd like to see you shut this door.
That's Ryan.
Oh, what the hell is that?
Is the door in there shut?
The door just slammed shut. Alright, I know you did not... see this. You probably heard the door in the attic just slammed shut. I got it all on video.
Hey, stop right there.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, rewind it a little bit. We actually captured an EVP right there.
Is the door in there shut?
The door just slammed shut. Alright, I know you did not...
Right here.
I know you did not see this. You probably heard the door in the attic just slammed shut. I got it all on video.
There.
Oh, I heard it.
I heard it. I never even
What
noticed
did it
that.
say?
It actually said, shh, quiet.
Oh my gosh. So I remember being outside and I heard you guys scream. Well, yell, I should say, not scream. And I heard the door slam and I thought, oh my God, what happened? And I got on the walkie right away and I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? And I think that's when Ryan was like, I know you did not see it, but the door just slammed shut.
Yeah, you thought it was a gunshot at first.
Yeah, it sounded like a gunshot. That's how loud it was. It was very loud.
Yeah. And as you can see on that door, so rewind it to when the door slams. That is a hard door. That is like stuck with old dust and grime. Okay, now watch it. Now watch. It goes right back to where it originally started.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
And then you'll also notice there's a shadow that runs out of the door and darts off to the right of the screen.
Oh, I think I see
Is the
it.
door in there shut?
Yeah, so go ahead and play it again, Laura. Sorry. You know what? Right here. There it was. Did you see it?
Yeah, but I couldn't tell if that was. So when I play it, I couldn't tell if off to the right here, if that is like you or somebody else walking or not, or if that was. We're gonna play it again.
See? There it was.
I don't know.
And then did you see that orb? Not
Yeah,
orb, but
I
that
see
light on it? See,
like
there it is again.
the
Is the door in there shut?
The door just slammed shut.
Yeah.
Now, I do have to premise by saying that there are no fans going in this house. There is no electric in the house whatsoever. They kept everything original to when this happened, which was, I think, 19. Oh, God, do you remember, Nick?
The year we went, all I can remember is,
Well, no,
we
the
went
year
on
that the house, like when they were murdered.
about 100 years ago.
Yeah, all I know is like there's no, I mean, there is heating available, but they don't heat it because it's all
No, it
done
was like
by wood. There's
Yeah, because they had
no,
the old wood burners.
yeah, there's no electricity whatsoever. There's no, the only electricity was out where I was at with the computer.
Yeah, out at the
So,
barn, which was stationed because we had this was like in the middle of like mid-July, so it was hotter than hell in there.
yeah, so like I know you can see like dust coming through with the light, but there should be nothing blowing. It wasn't, from what I remember, it wasn't a very windy night.
No, it was very calm. And now what I meant by you need to have humor, go back to the point where it was where you okay, so go ahead and play it, and then after you hear the shh quiet, listen to me.
Okay.
I think Nuke did a great job on that, by the way, by adding that in there.
Oh, he does. I love Nuke.
Oh, just wait. Nick, I think Nuke does talk about what you said.
Yeah.
Is the door in there shut?
The door just slammed shut.
Alright, I know you did not. See this. You probably heard the door in the attic slammed shut.
I got it all on video. I can't move. And I really got a fart. And it just went back in and that hurt. Hold this flashlight. I got it.
Let's hope Nick eventually worked out his problem.
I think he did.
Yeah, I was talking with Nuke about it, and I'm like, dude, I'm glad you put that in there because you need to have a sense of control. You have to have that sense of controlling yourself to get over what you just witnessed.
So I wanted to talk to you about that real quick because I'm a huge fan of Nukes. That's kind of like my go-to at night for me and my wife to just lay down and watch. And I remember the night I saw that video, I'm like, holy shit, that's Nick. And you remember me texting you about it, I'm sure. And by the way, it took me a while to find that video again. So I was always curious, how did that come about? Did he contact you? Did you contact him? Give me the backstory on that.
So at the end of most of his videos, if you have anything paranormal you want to share, he sent a link. So I actually went to his email and I told him who I was. I said, I have this interesting video that you might find interesting. And then about less than a week later, I think it was, he emailed me and said, hey, this is cool. Can I use it? And I gave him the permission and then he used it. So it was very
nice.
Yeah, he was very professional about it. He was a very nice guy. And then later he said, hey, I've been reading the comments. I'm so sorry that people are joking about your ghost fart. And I was like, dude, I'm not even sweating it.
Right. That's just how our group is. So how did it make you feel when you saw him feature your video? How did you feel about that?
Like, I was actually,
go ahead.
For it being Nuke, I was actually pretty excited. It was a good feeling that a video that I appreciate, because I'm a fan of Nuke, and then when he appreciated my work, then it's just like, I was like, cool. I'm now one of the most viral videos of, well, one
I think it
of the
was.
viral
I
videos.
think that was like 2019 when that originally was posted by him.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it got a lot of views. Oh, it was nice.
I might go ahead just to kind of give him an update. When we're done tonight, I might send him a link to this live stream so he can kind of get an update on you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I got plenty more to show him, especially the transparent ghost eyes that appeared at the Velisca Axe murder video. I don't know if Laura dug that one up.
I did not put that on here, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I got
we
three
might
more
have to
for him.
have a whole show on the Velisca house. Actually, it's pretty.
I know there's these creepy eyes. Like I said, I knew that when I was sitting in that living room, I had the strangest feeling out. Somebody was like right in front of me, knowing I had two other investigators on my side, but right in front of me. And then I play back the video later. Boom, two bright white eyes. You could see the pupils. You could see the dilations. Was staring right in the camera for like
Blinks.
3 seconds, and it closed his eyes and vanished.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking it's exciting. So that's how I felt when Nuke got back to me and posted it. It was exciting.
That particular house, I think the thing that creeped me out the most was we were in it during the daytime, and what they typically do is they take you in and they give you the story, and you can sit down on the furniture. And I remember sitting on the end of this old couch that had wooden arms, and I just kept having this feeling, like you said, Nick, like we were being watched. And I personally kept smelling blood in the house. It was really unnerving. And out of nowhere, I felt the couch that I was sitting on vibrate, and I heard like somebody slapping the wooden spot where your arm goes, the arm rail. And I turned and I looked to Ryan, who's sitting next to me, and he goes, "Was that you?" And I said, "No, I thought it was you." And there's nobody on this side of me because it's literally a wall and a door that they don't even use to come in and out of anymore.
Yeah, that is very interesting that you shared that, because that couch that you're talking about is the exact couch that I was sitting on that was recording in the direction of the blue room when those eyes appeared. And then shortly after those eyes closed themselves, you see a transparent figure walking out of the kitchen and walking into the children's blue room. That same couch I was sitting in, and I captured it all, where I was feeling like I was being watched. And sure as shit, there was our evidence. And I know I've asked Nuke a couple of times about it, but I know he gets all these other videos, so I was just lucky at that time.
So, other than the Velisca house, has there ever been another location that you investigated that's really stuck with you?
I would have to say it's the Castle Casaloma in Toronto, Canada.
Ooh, tell us about that.
So I went on a short trip with my friends Luke and Justin, who Luke is also kind of like a on and off again investigator with us. So we took this random road trip, and we drove 1,000 miles and talked about what we were going to do and where we were going to see. And sure as shit, we saw that there was a filming for Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So we went to Castle Casaloma, and there was when we got the opportunity to go in and check out the place. So they have a paid tour, but when they heard who I was, they said, "Hey, just stay off the tour. Why don't the three of you go and explore?" So Luke and Justin and I got a free roam around the entire castle to feel or whatever so it's basically our own personal tour. And I was the tour guide that knew nothing about the inside. And excuse me. Sorry, my throat got dry. I was all excited about telling this one.
It's all
And
good.
now, since we were not on the tour, we were allowed permission to take, like cell phone pictures, but they didn't want us to take any flash photography. And so when we went around, we followed these stairs. It was like somewhere around next to the indoor garden. And we followed these stairs that led underground to the basement level of to what once was a king's bathtub or swimming pool or something like that. So Justin and Luke were walking down one of the corridors, and I took a picture, and it was blurry. Of course, I figured, okay, well, maybe I didn't get a good shot. So I refocused everything, and I made sure it was focused right. I took a picture of Luke and Justin walking down the corridor. The picture was blurry again. So I was like, okay, third time's a charm. Took a picture. They weren't even in the picture. And neither was the corridor. So it was a blank picture of like this tannish colored wall. So apparently the picture I was taking of them was the same color of the wall that was in the corridor. So I don't know how I could have missed their shot. So I tried to show it to Luke and Justin. I said, guys, take a look at this. All three of those fucking photos were corrupted, wouldn't even show up on my phone. Then we heard running water. And so we just thought nothing of it. And so we turned around and we heard water coming from the king's tub, but there was no water coming out of it. Then we followed back up to the main floor, went all the way up into one of the towers, into the bell tower, or not the bell tower, the one of the main cone towers, and none of our phones worked. So everything that we tried to take pictures of, nothing would capture.
Ooh.
That's wild.
Yeah, I was so livid, and it's like I didn't even get to show him the blurry, which the blurry photo, that's just going to be, it's a blurry photo. But when you were trying to show someone, and then all of a sudden, all three of those, no other photos were changed. The outdoors of the castles, the garden was fine, the inside was fine, us standing in front of the castle was fine, but downstairs, all of the photos were corrupted and had to be deleted.
Something didn't want you to take those pictures.
Yeah, and it was just weird. And we had to kind of like another similar incident at the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. We'd get pictures of Luke and Justin, and the photos would be blurry, which I do have one of those in my Paranormal Lights page. I just put it as in, I'll just throw it in there, kind of like a filler. We stayed a night in there, and Luke wakes me up, and I'm like, well, what? He goes, dude, do you hear that? I'm like, yeah, what do you want? I hear it, I hear running water. Luke was shaking me like hard. He was like, dude, I'm freaking serious. And so Justin, who was laying on the floor, was like, what are you two bitches bitching about? And I'm like, I don't know. Luke's asking if I hear running water. And Justin's like, oh, Luke, I thought you were in there and went to the bathroom. I'm like, no, I just woke up to the sound of water. And so I get up and I turn the bathroom light on. The fucking faucet was running.
Wow.
So and it's one of those star-shaped antique knobs. So I turned off the water and I made sure it was off and it was dripping. And then so I go lay back down to sleep. Sure as shit, the moment I hear, Justin fucking grabs my leg from the floor and says, Nick, what the hell did you do? And I'm like, dude, I'm just as scared as you are. And Luke's like, oh my God. And gets up off the bed, turns on the light. Guess what? The faucet was running. So this time Luke turned the knob and shut it off. Justin gets up and goes and turns the knob on, then turns the knob off. And he goes, okay, now I know how hard it is. It was a rough turn. Then I'd say a couple hours later, I wake up to the sound of I'm just sitting there in bed. Then moments later, both Luke and Justin, again? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just sitting here. I'm not doing anything. And while Luke and Justin were laying there, I hear water shuts off, and it never did it again the rest of the night.
Interesting.
That is the most bizarre thing, other than hearing the music playing in the ballroom at the hotel. But that was the coolest thing that I've ever experienced there. And I've never been back. Not that I don't want to. It's just I haven't had the chance to go back to Estes Park because of the other traveling that I do, especially with you, Laura. South Dakota, woo woo. And
I mean, we could go to Estes Park instead. I'm okay with that too.
well, we could, but now their rooms back then when we went, it was like $180 a night.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than that now.
Oh, yeah, a lot more. Do you know which room number you stayed at?
I think it was 217, I think.
I think that is one of the ones that is considered haunted, but
I do
don't remember
appreciate
now.
your inclusion of sound effects, by the way.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, so I mean, there's even been some weird things. I mean, even with Chris, we've been at this old house down on 100th and A. Chris and I have heard like I don't know, like some weird voices where it sounds like a doll's voice, and we even have it captured on video during the day where I have it marked up on the second floor. Do you remember that old house, Chris?
Yeah, I believe wasn't it like on the way to like Wahoo? I believe. I think it was
Walton.
Walton. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it was on the way to Walton.
Yeah.
So
Well,
what does a haunted doll voice sound like exactly? I'm just curious because you said specifically a haunted doll voice, but what does that sound like? Because it could have been a kid's voice, right?
Right. So to explain it better, so the camera that we had set during the day, it was up on one of the bedrooms, and we had left. So we left the whole area and we came back later to capture if anything happened. Well, during the playback, sometime through the video, you hear this child go, and it's like, okay, well, maybe it was an animal, but now mind you, you could hear the traffic when there's traffic because it's a,
Didn't the
old
little
country
voice
road.
go, "Mommy"?
Yes, and then later we heard "Mommy," and then I don't know what happened, but it cut. Like some time was lost, and then all of a sudden you see Dale walking right into the room to grab the camera.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just that voice alone would creep me out.
Oh, sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No, I remember that investigation. We went back there several times. I could have swore there were two houses though that we did because there was a second one that was a little bit further down the road too that we discovered, and we decided to set up a camera in there. And I believe there was one that you got basically a dust ring being broken a couple of times, as I recall.
Yeah, that one would have been like 100th and Adams area because it's past 84th and Adams, headed east, and then you come across this bridge. But before we cross the bridge, there's a path that led to an old farmhouse. And
was that the one where I told everyone what the bedrooms were, and we can hear the little boy crying and the woman's voice, and then the man walking up and down the stairs?
No, that was the one at 100th and A.
Oh, okay.
Where we heard the other child voice saying "Mommy,"
Okay.
because this one, that one with Chris, also. I don't know. Most of the things usually normally happen outdoors. I remember that as soon as you walk into the house, there's an old fireplace. Then to the right of the fireplace, around the corner, was a door that led to the basement. And anytime we even tried to get down to the basement, none of us would go because there was a dark figure standing at the bottom of the stairs, and there was no fucking way we were going to go down there in case if it was a homeless guy or a demon that was going to possess my ass, and I was not going to take that chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But anytime we shined our flashlight, though, when we shined our flashlight on it, it is not there. But anytime we shine the light away, you can see the silhouette of somebody standing at the bottom of the stairs.
That is straight up a horror movie trope. If I haven't heard one, like that's
yeah,
creepy
yeah,
as hell.
yeah.
Though
Every horror movie ever made. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that house is pretty creepy. Yeah.
I do have that house in the book, one of my books called A Guide to the Paranormal Side. So you'll get some of the. Oh no, that was for the Walton house. I have that one in that book, and it just I couldn't find a whole lot of history on the place, other than that a couple family members had passed away of like old age or something like that. But as for the most, I wouldn't say scary, but the most haunted place, I will admit, is the C Street house, which is the one I was telling you about where I saw the woman in the mirror.
Oh,
That
yeah.
house is, yeah, that was my mom's old house where it's right behind the sunken garden. And that house has a lot
Oh,
of
yeah, that
history.
area. Ooh.
Yeah, so we've had somebody, the woman that I had seen, apparently she had died in that room or up on that floor, on the top floor. Then my grandfather, actually, I take that back, before my grandfather, my mom's uncle or cousin, one or the other, I think it was my mom's uncle or a family member of my mom, had killed himself in the basement.
Oh.
Years later, my grandfather had a heart attack. His wish was, if I'm ever going to die, I'm going to die of having a cup of coffee. Sure as shit, he had a cup of coffee, wasn't feeling good, and died of a heart attack in the kitchen. Now, with those 3 deaths, one on each floor, my mom swears to the T that if you were to drill a hole from the top all the way down to the basement, and you stuck a metal pole all the way down, all their heads line up.
what? That is wild.
That is interesting.
Energetically, that makes sense because if you have a depths layered like that, you get that entanglement going like that. That actually makes sense.
Yeah. And I think, I'm not sure if it was my grandfather or my great grandmother who passed away first, because when my grandpa passed away when I was 3, but I was older when I noticed that woman. And I still to this day have a paperweight that used to sit on my grandpa's desk of this transparent glass-like moon with a brass astronaut sitting on top of it. I mean, it's a good sized paperweight thing, and
Oh, yeah.
I cherished it. It's the only thing I have of my grandpa, and I kind of think that some of the hauntings has to do with that. Oh, well, and then we also had this old kerosene lantern that haunted our house, and my brother had it. Well, my mom gave it to my brother. My brother had paranormal activity. Then he gave it to me. We were having paranormal activity. And then one of the people that I was working with, a person with disabilities, worked at a restaurant. And one of the managers knows of the lantern because of my story. She wanted to know if she could use it. I said, you can have it. I'm going to pass our ghost on to you. Mind you, having the object that I gave to her, 4 days later, she goes into labor and she has a kid. And she still owns that lantern to this day. She said, do you want it back? I said, fuck no.
I like how you just gave a ghost away. Like, here you go.
Yeah,
Have a haunting.
Well, that's
Yeah.
his mom was even saying that's the only way to get rid of this particular spirit is by giving away this lantern, basically.
Yeah. And I still have a couple of haunted objects. I know I have I personally believe that the paperweight astronaut on the moon is a haunted, or maybe not haunted, but it's just, like I said, it's the closest thing I have to my grandpa. But I do have this African mask that Laura and my wife hates, because when it's in
I
my
don't
home,
hate it. I just don't like it.
well, because we get shadow people around when that thing is in the home. And Jessica and my wife Jessica and Laura both have seen it, heard it. My son has even seen it and heard it. So I put it away in the garage. And I remember telling you guys in a chat group, I was like, hey, should I buy this little lava rock Buddha at this antique store? And I bought it. Weeks later, I bought it, and
The
I'm
look
kind
on
of starting
Laura's
to
face is priceless right now.
So
Yeah.
where is this lava rock Buddha thing?
I thought I showed it to you. It's that black naked Buddha person sitting next to the terrarium. Oh, maybe I haven't showed it to you, but yeah. So ever since I've
No,
had
you
it
showed
in
it
here.
to me on video camera, but that was it.
Oh well, yeah, I have it. I bought it weeks later after talking to you and Phantom about it, and I was just like, "Hey, so I used a ghost tool and asked if I should take you home, and it said no."
Didn't we tell you not to do it?
Yeah, we all told you not to.
Yeah. You all told me not to do it. So about a month and a half later, well, to make you guys feel better, I did not buy it at that time. So,
Okay, that makes it so much better. Oh, it's all good.
So, nearly 2 months later, my friend Andrew and I go back to that antique mall, and it's still there. And Andrew's like, "Nick, you should take this. This looks haunted." And I'm like, oh, "Okay, well." So I bought it and I took it home, and ever since, both Jessica and Laura have heard something talking in my home. And even Caleb has come out of his bedroom saying, "Yeah, what?" And we're all looking at each other like, "We didn't call for you. I swear, you just knocked on my bedroom door." And we're like, "No, we fucking didn't."
Last weekend, I actually stayed at Nick's house. And that explains some things. I didn't know.
It was very close to you, by the way, at that time.
Yep. Sure, I bet it probably was.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Yeah. But you also might want to check your box that you went home with, because I kind of put it in there. I just wasn't going to tell you.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No,
Okay, I know
No.
you value your life way more than that. There's no way you did that.
Well, so I have,
it's funny.
and I have this, you know, those wooden dolls that people use to sculpt and so they can do like drawings and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I have one of those that is sitting up on the shelf above my terrarium where my eyelash crested gecko sits. It's been sitting there for the longest time, and it never gets bothered. Well, about Laura, you were here what, last weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So about 2 weeks prior than that, Jessica and I were watching a movie, and I hear this clank clank, and I go into my room. That doll was literally chucked across the bedroom.
So why do you still have it?
Right.
Because it's a haunted object that I can use to investigate, which will be at the paranormal investigation training.
So I don't think that the doll itself is haunted.
No, not the doll at all. No, I think it's just whatever I have that's here is just kind of just messing around. It's harmless.
Well,
I mean, except for that one time.
Sometimes.
No, what were you saying?
Dolls can get possessions too sometimes. Anything with a face, you kind of have to be suspect of if you're into hauntings, you know.
As I look at all my anime statues, I'm like, okay.
Is there a way to turn my camera around?
Yeah, you turned it around.
So here's the terrarium, okay? And up here is where that doll is. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
I like the googly eyes.
So that was sitting on this shelf here, okay? And nothing is bothering. You can see it's very well balanced, and it's been sitting there. And then it was just chucked all the way across the room. Now, with that being said, hi everyone. I'm going to grab that that Buddha thing. Not Buddha. Yeah, Buddha lava rock. I'm going to show it to you here real quick. And as I'm sneaking in here behind my wife, say hello, Jessica.
I don't think it's necessarily something that is bad because it's like Buddha. I think
Mhm.
the reason why it holds so much power is because it's lava rock.
Right. So here it is.
Well, neat.
I don't know if it's actually Buddha or not. Oh, it might be.
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, if it's Hawaiian lava rock, it would be more like Pele type of thing. But
I don't know.
Staring into your soul, Laura.
Oh, I don't like its face. I'm sorry.
the thing's creepy. Yeah.
I think I'm more interested in the Optimus Prime that's going on over there.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That's
actually. I have a little bit of toys, man's gotta have their things.
right.
But
No, totally
it lights
understand.
up.
So speaking
Yeah,
of toys,
totally.
do you have a piece of equipment that you will always go and use on investigations no matter what?
Yes, I do have some that I go all the time. Lately it's been the spirit portal. I take that over to my brothers often when to show.
And
I
what is that
have
exactly? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so that goes along with one of the tools I take all the time, which is the SB7 Spirit Box. Yes, I know I need the update, but I like what the SB7 can do for now. And you use that, connect it to this device.
Excuse me.
What is it? I connect it into a reverb and a noise canceller. And then I connect it to a speaker to, well, definitely boost and amplify the sound, but I can adjust to cut out the white noise, where you're getting the static chopping noises in radio frequencies when you're switching stations.
Mhm.
So that cuts all of that out, and the reverb will change it to where you can actually hear the words more clear. So a spirit box would, let's say if I get a Class A EVP of something saying, "How are you doing?" So on the spirit box, it would say, "How are you doing?" You could hear what it's saying. However, with the spirit portal, it would respond in a way as in, "How are you doing?" Like you can actually hear its full vocal cords rather than frequency
So is it
chops.
using it's like a type of processing that's like analyzing what's being said and then playing it back?
No, it's straight live feed from the spirit box itself.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And then the speaker is just to amplify it's all live, but we can cut out the specific chopping noises, and we can make the reverb, we can just make it more standalone or maybe a little echoey, because if you make it echoey, then you can hear more of the words more clearer rather than a quick word. It'll echo a couple of times so you can get more of a better understanding of what that word is. Because there's been times that I got a response like, "Hey, are you here? Say something." It'll say, oh, reverb. To get it, you'd hear the echo. It'll say, "Hello, hello, hello." So I know it's saying hello. And it's
That's
all
interesting.
straight live. And that's what I love about the Spirit Portal, because it's a spirit box on steroids.
But that's actually pretty neat. Might have to look into that.
Yeah.
Yes, it could be a little pricey because you're still buying, it's like you're buying electric guitar parts. You have to build it because you have to have the spirit box, the reverb, the other tool, a speaker. And it's not just any speaker. You need to have the speaker that's going to have the aux cable so you can plug in the original spirit box into this. And then you're going to have this power switch, just so you can get it all put together. It's a little messy. That's why I need to build a box for it all to go in at once, so I don't have to keep reconnecting it all the time. But the more I do it, the more easier it is for me to remember, okay, this goes here, plug them in, because there's those extra cords I have to buy. And it's interesting. I'll have to bring it over to you guys sometime and show it to you. Laura, I've seen it, and we've got some creepy shit in my place with
Yeah,
it.
I definitely want to check this thing out sometime. I know we have that thing coming up in March where you want to show people the different paranormal equipment and stuff. So that'd be a good time to bring it.
Yeah. Yes, I do plan on bringing. I plan on bringing the Buddha rock and the tiki mask, was because I do believe that those are paranormal conduits. Sorry, and I'm bringing the spirit portal because at the Branched Oak Observatory on Friday the 13th of March of this year, it's $20 a person. You can come in, get all of your hands-on experiences to do what we do, and I will be presenting like the honored guest will be the spirit box, but people will also get their experience to, if the clouds or if the skies are clear, then we will also have stargazing observing available also, because it's kind of part of the paranormal science when you're dealing with you can't just find paranormal research through typical cameras and recordings, because there's I believe that we're not the only planet out there that has paranormal activity. Not to say we're going to go and look for ghosts on Mars, nothing like that, but it's more of, we have, there at the observatory, they have this radio station that we can use with that technology and the antennas that will amplify electromagnetic energies. So we will have such a large charge that we can probably extend the length and the width of our electromagnetic energies to read and feel of anything that's not close, but even that's at a distance. And with that station there, we can also communicate with the International Space Station.
That's pretty
And
neat.
we will be showing people on how to do that.
It's pretty cool.
I know that we're kind of getting close to the end here. I just had one quick question on my end. So when did you get to a point where you realized, Nick, that this was no longer just a hobby for you? Like, this was just more than that, at least for you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, working a full-time job and doing that, I don't know. I know that doing this, I've had a lot more interest in history and researching, and it's became more of an interest for me, and that's what I find it as a life changer, because it really boosts the interest of other fields that I can do for myself. Like, for example, cure for writer's block, a cure for boredom. It's a cure for alcoholism, where I don't have to go out and drink when I can go out and do paranormal research, because I get a high on the adrenaline rush. I have done situations where I find it kind of like it's a niche, really. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but it's like people that have grown up with me and know who I am, and if they have nothing going on, I can be their entertainer. I can actually show their, hey, Nick, you want to take me out on a ghost hunt? I would love to take you out on a ghost hunt, because it sparks the interest of others to research scientific, anything scientific, really. It's been several years now, so I'd say I found it. What was the question again?
More of like, when did it become more of just a hobby to you? Like, at what point did you realize it was more than that?
Probably after graduating high school, several years later, when people had come to me and asking me, this is like the early 2000s, when people say, hey, Nick, do you still do that ghost stuff? And sure, and then we started pushing it more and more. And then we've been more, we go by base of word of mouth. We don't care about the television network stuff. I mean, if a network came to us and said, hey, you want to have your own show? Sure, I'll bring the team along. But it's just more, we just care about helping others understand. So it's been 25 years now.
So I would say pretty much almost as long as I've known you, because we did go to high school together.
Yeah, and same with Chris. I haven't seen Chris for years, and then I ran into him out in public one day, and I filled him in, and he jumped in and kind of like re-sparked our friendship back then. Because I mean, we didn't really like socialize back in high school, but it was awakening for others to get to know one another, and to like just picking up theories and ideas. And Chris was a perfect person to bring along, and then you, and then Laura. Laura found me through her somebody's sister, through your sister.
Yeah.
And Laura's been with us ever since. And Chris has been a very good help over the years. I know there was like a 10-year gap that we didn't have communication, but I mean, we all grew apart, but then here it is. We all reconnect. And I still have like one of my best friends that lives up in Oregon, and she'll communicate every once in a while. And she's still part of the team, but she's doing her own up there in Oregon. So I'd say out of the last 25 years, it's been something that had sparked the interest of others. So I would say that if somebody's interested in the paranormal and they want to do ghost huntings, because back many years ago, people thought, oh, you're weird. You're the creepy kid. It's not like that anymore. We're the popular ones. And you know what? We just want to help you to get into the same interest, and we will support you.
Right on, right on. You guys got anything for Nick before we go ahead in the stream?
I don't.
No.
I'm excited to have him on again and talk more about his books. So
For sure, for sure. You don't have anything for him, Chris?
No.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thanks for coming on, Nick.
thank
It
you,
was
Nick.
great having you on.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm kind of surprised Chris was the quiet one this time.
I know, right? That is definitely a shift. Of course, then again, once you get going, there's no stopping.
Well,
Yeah, so any of the listeners out there that just remember that Phantom, Chris, and Laura have been a huge part of the Paranormal Lights team. And if you have any questions or any experiences that you guys have, I highly recommend to talk to those three, and y'all can share it, and you guys can definitely build something.
Right. And if you have anyone out there, anyone who watches this or is watching now or watches later, if you have any personal experiences you want to bring up, write a comment. Let us know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And we will try to respond it the best way as we can.
All right, everyone. Thanks for coming to stream, and peace out.
Thank you.
Peace out.